Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this gig. Grab your drink. Today, I am drinking Crystal Head vodka. For those of you who weren't here for whenever the last time I drank this, it is Dan Aykroyd's vodka. And then I put that in the shaker with some ice, and I put a little passion fruit puree because you work with what you got. It is a monster goblet day, y'all. This is from the one and only Johnny Bo. Then I'm gonna top it off with this Topo Chico tangerine with ginger extract sparkling water for a little fizz. And these signature needles keep coming in handy. Let's see how it is. Yeah. That works just fine. What are y'all drinking? Hey guys, Chevyrell here in the stuff room. If you want to know where I've been, check out the last episode. Hopefully this episode is not out too much later than the last episode that came out. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out, stopping by. If you're new here, welcome to the Shitshow, because that's what this is. I am finally feeling back to myself, and let's see, after a very long hiatus, if I can still remember how to do this. The last time I recorded an episode was April. However, I didn't post it until the end-ish of July. Don't know when this will be out. Hopefully not that much later. Turn the air to 74.
All right, setting the AC on the living room to 74 degrees.
I'm a little warm. It's a little warm in here. We're gonna jump right in. FOs are first. The last time I was here in April, I showed you this square, but it was unblocked. This is blocked, isn't it pretty? Blocked? It looks very different. Then the next square I knit was this square, which is this, you start down here and then you do this thing, right? Even blocked, it is not very square. And look at this. Like, look at the size difference there. This is a very large, very long project. You guys are probably sick of hearing about it. It's the 200 Crochet Blocks book, and I am working my way through it. I am on, this is 49. I've done 49 squares. This is going to be the podcast of old things. So I'm going to show you some old things that you haven't seen in a minute because I've been working on it. Actually, just two things, just two old things. This is the first one. Oh no, I lied. It's three things. Three old things I'm going to show you. I have a shelf right up here that these live on. So I'm going to go bloop and bloop. And this is my stack. Even though it is not a blanket, it makes me so happy. These are all, I'm just using my scraps, and then I am going to put them all together in one blanket. And for things like this, that is if I get to a big enough blanket before I die that I put it together, I'm just going to add to this to make all the squares the same. It will be a process, I am aware, it is fine, but just looking at this stack makes me happy. So I haven't shown it in a while. Old thing number one. Next FO is old thing number two. And that is my Labyrinth throw from Knitting Niqabi. A couple years ago, Knitting Niqabi put out an advent calendar. She does all natural dyeing, and it was Labyrinth. So of course I fell in love with it. I used my Labyrinth project bag. I got this keychain as part of it. I showed you a square that I finished on the last episode, and I have also finished, I showed you this as a whip the last time, and I talked about duplicate stitching maybe because I hate intarsia so bad. I didn't do it. I did not do it. That's the back. This is not beautiful. It is not true intarsia. I mean, look at it. If I was being judged on it, it would get maybe a C-. I don't care. I'm just glad that it's done. I thought, since it has been so long, that I would show you what squares I have finished. I need to look and see how many squares there are actually. Okay, there are 15 squares and I have knit 8. I've started in 9, which I'll show you in the whips, but I just thought that I'd show you quick. These are all natural dyed. This is called Royal Quilting. There's a teddy bear, which, what's his name, people? What's his name? Lancelot. And then this is Mosaic. Those are the 3 squares. So next we have another Royal Quilting. We have another Intarsia. I hated this one as well. I'm not an Intarsia knitter. It's not even really true Intarsia. I'm going to say that it's like half and half Intarsia color work because I took some liberties. Another Mosaic. This is the Royal Quilting square that I showed you on the last episode. And then, of course, the crystal ball again. My plan with the blanket is I am going to put all of these squares together. Here is the stack. Maybe this will be the stacked square episode, even though these aren't really squares, but you know what I mean. I am going to put them all together, and then I am going to put like a muslin. Is it muslin? Like that gauzy fabric, not muslin like a dress. I've talked about this before. That's what I want as the backer on this. I guess that's all I have to say about that. And, oh, actually, that's my last FO. So now, drink break. You know what's next? Whips. Which is my next square. And it is a mosaic square. And I am this far. And for shits and giggles, because this was a Labyrinth blanket, all of the colorway names are Labyrinth inspired. And let me just tell ya, this is Junk Lady and Moss Eyes. It makes me very happy. I really enjoy the mosaic squares, and the royal quilting is fun, but those take way longer because you have to, like, whatever that technique is, you have to double back. So, and in the stuff room, there's fiber. The finished product is going to be awesome. The mosaic squares are definitely my favorite. Oh shit, I've forgotten FO. Back it up.
Back it up, back it up.
My tissue thing. My Tetris tissue holder. I showed this as a whip on the last whatever podcast, and I don't have any tissues in it because I will tell you I can't figure out a good way to fold them so that they come out. I need to mess with it. I also feel like I went down like, what, an inch? Yep, I went down an inch. I almost wonder if maybe I should have done a half an inch. That would have been a little better, but I don't know. It does the thing. It does the thing. You put tissues in there, they come out. I just need to figure out the best way to fold the tissues because I haven't mastered that yet. But I keep this in my car because I need tissues in the car. I need tissues everywhere. If I go to somebody's house and they don't have tissues like handy, I'm not gonna lie, it irritates me because I'm old and I have tissues everywhere, much like Lippy. There is always like Lippy within reach of me. Okay, now we can continue with the whips. For those of you who caught Robin's Live at 5, Robin is the queen bee of Yarn Birds, which is a yarn truck. She's my friend. She sells yarn on the yarn truck. It's amazing. But she has a Live at 5 on Instagram every Friday, and I was a surprise guest last Friday, and I showed my socks. And the fun thing about these, first off, the pattern is, where is it? I talked about this and could not remember the name of the pattern. These are the Gudrunsocks. Gudrunsocks. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but there they are. Christina designed these. She goes by Burke Fiber, and I love her logo. How flippin' cute is that? I have a sock done. The last time y'all saw this, I think I was like right here, and here it is. Now, this heel is so fun. It's ribbing with a heel cuff. What's that? Is it called the magic heel? It's sort of like that, but fitted. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. One done, and I am this far on the next one. I have just started the cuff. So this is coming right along. Now, this yarn is called The Yarn and the Bees, and it is in the lacy colorway on platinum sock fingering. This is what's so much fun. So here's the socks, right? Look at the bag. I mean, shut up. Loma and Echo sent me this bag, and I can't remember which one of you made this. I'm sorry. But Loma and Echo sent me the bag, and I mean, come on. How perfect is it? How perfect. I am liking the knit way mucho. I am so hot. You guys, I've barely started. The hair is going up. Ta-da. My wispies. Ugh. Oh, real quick on these socks. On the last podcast, I talked about that the pattern went from 60 to 68 stitches and that I altered them for 64 and someone else had done it on a project page and I was hoping it was easy. I didn't even need the project page. It's so easy. The math is very easy to convert to half sizes. Without giving the pattern away, just trust me. I was thinking that it was going to be way more complicated than it was. It is not at all. Okay, this is number 3 for an oldie but a goodie, and that is my Yarmalada. I have been showing my Yarmalada some love, and it's because it's a lot of stockinette, and that's been where my brain is currently. This is an Advent. I have all these Advents too. Seriously, you guys, I just put that together. I have 3 Advents on the needles right now. It's the Advent-isode. That's what I need to name it. This was a Halloween Advent or spooky season Advent. I don't remember what she called it. I'm totally blanking on the Advent. I have Skein Cocaine in my head, and that's the other one. Hold on. Lambstrings Yarn Advent from a spooky season again a couple years ago. This has been a long-term project. It is the Yarmalada. It is going to be, for me, more kimono style. It's going to be huge, but I'm going to wear it over dresses. I might belt it. I have some ideas with it. I have the back completely finished. It has been finished. It's in my camper project bag that was gifted to me. Thank you. I've had the back done for quite some time. Let me show you. Obviously not blocked. It'll look like this. So you can see more. I mean, it's washing out really bad, but you get the gist. So you knit the back, and it's real easy. It's just yarn overs, right? I do want to tell you. I saved these little nubbins in case I ran out of yarn on the fronts. Well, I shortly after this gave up and didn't give a shit. So what I've been doing on the fronts, I'm going to have to weave in all those ends now, which it is what it is. But, as you go, you change your mind. I have been just Russian joining the colors and not caring where they ended up. I just don't care. So they might not line up on the finished product.
Again, I don't care.
Because it's mine and it's handmade and I'm going to wear it. And I don't remember where you guys saw this the last time. It could have been that marker or it could have been that marker. I don't know. I have got quite a bit of progress done on it. The end is near. I have this many left. So it's pretty close. It's nice because I don't have to weave in the ends. I am knitting. I put them in I made these little yarn socks. It's been a really long time since I've shown this. I made these little yarn socks. I'm actually at a point where I need to rush and join the next color in. I'm pulling from the inside and the outside for each side, And then I'm just gonna put it together and we'll see how it comes out. I decided I was making it way more complicated than it needed to be, which I do sometimes. So I am very excited that it's so close to being finished. I know if I did project pages, I would be able to answer this question easily. Instead, I would have to delve way back into the archives of the podcast and figure out when I cast that on to see how long it's taken me to knit it. Maybe when I finish it, I will do that. I said maybe. We will see. This has been really good TV knitting. I am currently watching House of the Dragon. I binged what season are we on? Are we on the 3rd season? I just jumped on the bandwagon and binged a whole bunch of episodes in a row. That's probably where most of that came from. And now I am caught up to where a new episode comes out every Sunday. So when I'm wearing my Yarmalada, when that day comes, I'm going to know that the front, a large part of that was done during House of the Dragon. Oh, and I'm a bad podcaster. It's because I'm out of practice, you guys. I am out of practice. So real quick, to back up, the Gudrunsocks are by Christina Sorenson, and it's a $3.60 pattern. The Yarmalada that I just showed is a $10 pattern by Krissi Abbott. The Labyrinth throw I already said was by Knitting Niqabi. Her name is Kelcey Garner, and that is a free pattern. My tissue box I totally made up. Kind of. Watched the last episode. Is that all I've talked about? Yep. Pretty good. Now, my third whip and last whip, also an advent calendar, Skein Cocaine. I am making the Voyager cardigan by Wool and Pine, and it's an $8.75 pattern. This has been quite the journey. I've switched because I wanted to use my Fiber Hustle bag. I am keeping all of my yarns for my Voyager in here. I pick the colors as I go. This was on hiatus for a very long time because my mental health was not in a place where this was too much. And then my stitch count was off and I had to increase a bunch of stitches. There's Ditto. You get a tail wag from him. And then even though I gauge swatched a couple times, it probably wasn't a big enough of a gauge swatch, blah, blah, blah. I'm worried it's going to be too small. But I wove my ends in as I went because I hate weaving in ends. So I do it a little at a time, and I'm just going to roll with it. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, and I'll give it to my mom because I know it'll fit her because she's little. So here's what it looks like right now. I can't remember where I was the last time y'all saw it. Not very far. Well, yes, I do, because I kind of it's probably that far. Like I've probably gotten this much further in it. This red is where I went in, I realized how off on my stitches I was, and had to add a bunch of stitches. And now the next thing to do, I found my roller skates. Because remember on the last episode, I was like, these are my Christmas stoppers. I was putting my needles away yesterday because normally I put my needles away when I'm finished with them. But see previous combos, I didn't feel like it. So I was just throwing them in the stuff room. So I put a bunch of my needles away yesterday and I found my roller skate stoppers. And they go so good. Anyway, I am now onto the neck line decrease. That's what's next. This is a cardigan. It will be steeked. The sleeves also will be steeked. I talked about that on the last episode. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. This is my Advent from last Christmas, Skein Cocaine, and that's my knitting. I really, really have been on the struggle bus. So just the fact that I've gotten that much done since April is pretty impressive to me, just because I know where I've been.
It's a scary place in there, y'all.
Sometimes it's a whole bunch of fun though. And then other times, not so much. Okay, I believe that we're done. Let me check my notes. I'm gonna cross stuff off with my Fresh Out of Fox pen. Mama Jean got me this for Christmas. I do have a Ravelry pick. Did I say Voyager? It's the Voyage. I think I've been saying Voyager this whole time. Is that like a Star Trek reference? Or, yeah, Star Trek, Voyager? It's the Voyage sweater by Wool and Pine. Wonder how many other things I've said wrong. So, yeah. Ta-da! That's it. That's it. This is going to be a quick one. Well, famous last words. I have some happy mail. These are enabling, though. I talked about these on the last episode. The Moon needle gauges are from Katrinkles. And then I talked about how I'm wondering, I don't know, should they be? I couldn't decide what way I wanted them. I did it like this rather than the other way, but these are my gauges. I got them in purple. These are from the Creator's Creations. Again, talked about these on the last episode. She is on Etsy. If y'all have gauges, you can buy these to turn regular earrings into gauged earrings, which is what I did. That's my only enabling. I feel like I'm broken. I have just not found joy in very many things, and shopping is one of them. But we are on to Happy Mail, and I have a few Happy Mails. And a few of these, I have had for a very long time. And I feel bad because it took me so long. So let's get into it, because I'm excited to use these things. Okay, first, Kim, look at her card. Some days you just can't even. It's me. And look, the kid has yarn. Look how perfect it is. She sent me a box of yarn. So these are fun because they're the patterned things, and I forget, what is this? Online sock silk. What? Oh wow, it's 55% wool, 25 polyamide, 20% silk. I didn't look at the content. This is also online. I don't know what that will, another patterned one. This is superwash wool, 25% polyamide. We have another one, same. We have this one that also knits up in blips. This one. That's how that one, is this online too? No, this one's Opal. Those were all online. This was online. This one's Opal. And then this one is Wonderland Yarns, Pigments of Imagination, Lori, DK Weight, And this is 100% superwash merino. Now, I am in the market for yarn for an ear flap hat, and I think this might be in the running for that. Thank you, Kim. My friend Wendy, you guys. Do you guys remember when I surprised Billy? I went on that trip to see Wendy, and Billy was there, the Crafty Floridian. Wendy sent me this. I mean, I am flabbergasted, first off. She's like, hey, I have some fiber. Would you like some undyed fiber? Sure, like I'll always have fiber, right? Like, yeah, I'll take some fiber. Like, if you don't want it and you're not going to do anything with it, I'll take some fiber. You guys, are you ready for this? I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Like none. Like no ideas. It's so big it won't even come out of the stupid box. You guys! Shut up! Oh my gosh. I mean, this is like a bazillion sweaters. Hold on, let me look. This is Paradise Fibers Undyed Merino Top. 1 pound. This is more than a pound. I don't know, it says 1 pound. No. It is way more. What the heck? Why can't I read that correctly? The box, the label on the box says 7 pounds, 11.2 ounces. So I can't imagine that the box weighs that much or the plastic bag that it's in. I mean, Wendy. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I haven't spun in a minute either. I need to spin more. It doesn't smell like sheep. It's very clean and processed and beautiful. Thank you, Wendy. You doll, you. Wendy's good people. This is from Kristen. I've opened these packages, but I haven't looked at them yet. She said when she was in the store, Brian, who I imagine's her hubby, asked who she was buying these for, and she's like, Chevis. Duh. It's like you people know me so well. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Brian, don't you know I'm a shit show? Like, I can't believe you even had to ask. Don't all the yarn hubbies should know that I'm the shit show. My last happy mail is the one that I feel the most shitty about because Vita sent this, and I don't know if that's your Instagram. I should have asked. I don't know if that's your birth name, like Chevis, or your Instagram / nickname, like Chevyrell. But this came all the way. Hold on, let me cover this up if I need to. I guess I don't. This came all the way from the Queen, yo. The Queensland. Now, I opened it because I didn't want to mess with the box, but I've not seen what's in here. And you guys, I got this in April. I got this, no shit, like 2 days after I recorded my last episode. And I told him that I'd open it on camera, and then happened. So here we are. So this is yarn from across the pond. So I have Blue Fern yarns, hand dyed in Norfolk. This is Leaf Pile, Platinum Socks, 75 merino, 25 nylon. Blue Fern yarns. This is a UK dyer. For those of you across the pond, you might be familiar with this dyer. Look at that wonderfulness. This makes me want to lay in like the forest with mushrooms and things. Black elephant! Black elephant! This is my second skein of black elephant ever. And the first skein I got was from Gigi. Gigi sent me an orange single ply, and I put it in my, oh gosh, it was a Suzanne Somers pet, Sosu Knits. Melted Shrug. I wear it all the time. Well, not now because it's hot AF. But it's in there. This is my second one. Oh, this is DK. This is Geranium, 100% superwash merino. Maybe this will be my earflap. Ooh, this might be DK socks. So hard. Okay, whatever's in here is covered. Aww, I love hims. Or hers. They are totally living in the stuff room with Little Miss No Name. Aw, thank you so much. These remind me of the stuffies that I make Cole, and I don't ever make stuffies for myself, so thank you. Oh my gosh. He's my buddy. Wait till Cole meets him. Cole will have to give him a name. And there's no note in here, Vito. So I'm assuming they do not have a name. We will give them one. That was a pretty manageable episode for me, right? I still have drink left, so if y'all are knitting, I'll just like ramble on about some miscellaneous stuff. How's that? Because usually my episodes are not this short. It is very good to be back. Yeah, it wasn't a fun place where I went, but I'm glad that I'm back, right? There have been some, for those of you who did not watch Robin's live on the Yarnbirds or my last episode, I have been struggling with some mental health blues here as of late, and I'm just now on the other side of it. I am a huge advocate of mental health, and it's because I myself struggle with it and I know how bad it sucks. So if you do too, I am sorry, but know that you are not alone. And I thought that I would talk about some things that brought me joy. It was a long time coming, but these are things that helped me get past the hump, right? One of the things, when the fog finally started to lift for me, the Olympic trials. I love the Olympics. It is probably the most patriotic that I am. It's the Olympics. I especially love the Summer Olympics. I love track and field. I was a thrower in high school, which Dan makes fun of me for because you're like, oh, you're through in high school, so now you're an expert.
In my defense, I say professional.
No, but I do love it. So discus, hammer, and well, I threw discus and shot put, but I also love the hammer. So I follow all of those things, and then all the running events too. I love hearing the stories. I just
love it.
And then of course I love the gymnastics. So the trials gave me something to look forward to, and I don't know when this episode will come out, but this is the 24th of July. Oh my gosh, I have to say this, you guys, pause. My grandma Nada, who I talk about often, she is represented in this room often. The first plastic canvas thing I ever made is probably, outside of like finger painting, my first craft. It is because of Grandma Nada. I made a mug rug. Did y'all make those? It says mug rug with a little mug on it. Like, that's Grandma Nada. Today would be her 108th birthday. So cheers to Grandma Nada, even though she was a staunch Methodist and they drank grape Kool-Aid for the blood of Christ. I'm cheersing to Grandma Nada. She's probably rolling her eyes at me wherever she is, but she loves me for who I am. So happy birthday to Grandma Nada. That being said, what made me think of that? Oh, today's July 24th. So the Olympics start this coming weekend, which you will not see this episode for sure by then. It's either going to be after the Olympics or during the Olympics. So tell me if you like the Olympics and what you like in the Olympics. It really does make me super happy. For you OGs, you know that Clint is my best friend. We always have a Clinty Chevy trip every year. We had that last week. We had a staycation here. I am from the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. Well, I'm not from there. I'm a Buckeye. OH. However, I have lived in the Fort Wayne area way longer than I did in Ohio now. As you can see, we had a little staycation. We got an Airbnb downtown. If you guys are ever coming to Fort Wayne and need an Airbnb, I got one for you. It was amazing. It was such a good Airbnb. It's one of those things that I almost don't want to tell people because I want it to be available when I want it to be available. Anyway, we had a wonderful time. We definitely recharge our batteries with each other, and it was amazing. I do have to say, we shared our first evening of the Clinty Chevy trip with Dan's mom, Joni. I don't know that you guys have ever met her. I don't think she's ever been on the show. She's awesome. I love her. I always tell this story. You know how like, oh, my mother-in-law's coming to visit for a week, and people are like, I never feel that way. Joni's awesome. I am very, very fortunate to have an amazing mother-in-law. I'm sorry to those of you who do not, because I know that's a thing, but my mother-in-law is awesome. And as some of you know, Dan lost his stepdad last August, and his mom has moved back from Oklahoma. She lived in a very little town called Grove. Shout out to Grove, Oklahoma. I think it will be hilarious if any of you are there. Joni loved it there, and she is now back here. It's awesome because we get to have dinners and things with her, but she came and saw the Airbnb because we wanted to share it with someone. It was so awesome. So she had a few drinks with us on Monday night at the Airbnb, and then the rest of the trip was, of course, the Clinty Chevy trip. And you know, we didn't take a picture with Joni. We should have done that. I failed in the picture department. However, I am also a believer that if you've done something that you haven't taken pictures of, like you forgot to take pictures of, it's because you were having such a good time that you didn't, right? I mean, I struggle because here again, Grandma Nada, she was the family recorder, and I have now taken on that role. God, I'm going to make myself sad again. I don't want to do that, but 100 years from now, when we're all dead and gone, we're the people, right? So I am a very good taker of pictures, and to be honest with you, when I started this podcast, it was just going to be about the knitting. And because I've made friends with so many of you and gotten close to so many of you, it has morphed into not just knitting. And it has also turned into a little bit of a diary for me, right? Like this will be what I leave behind. Like Grandma Nada she wrote in her diary every day. I have one of her diaries. I love it. And this is sort of like the 2020s version, 2024. I mean, I started with whatever. It's my version of a diary, right? So anyway, it was amazing. The other thing I did, we also with Joni, we had a family reunion / memorial for Dean, who is Dan's stepdad. And his cousin lives in Grand Haven, Michigan. They have a beautiful home, you guys. It's like jaw-droppingly beautiful. The view that they wake up to in the morning, I cannot even imagine. And the fact that they share it with us is, there are no words. There just aren't any words. It's amazing. The whole family's there. We're in this beautiful, like their little slice of heaven on earth, utopia on earth, whatever you want to call it. And we laugh and we play games. We play left, right, center. That's a family game. I don't know if you guys know left, right, center, but it is the game up there. And I was excited because I got to play euchre I don't know if y'all play euchre, but I love euchre and I don't get to play very often. So the fact that I got to play that whole weekend was amazing. Those are just some of the things that have brought me joy here lately and really, really helped me get out of my mental funk. So if you are also in a mental funk or have one in the future, find things that bring you joy. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Thank you for coming back after such a long hiatus. Hope you enjoyed your time here in the stuff room. And I guess that's it. So, you know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And until we meet again, toodles.